Here's your weather video for this Sunday morning, December the 11th. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and lots to talk about. Sorry, I am a little bit late with the video this morning, but had so much to pack in. First, the fog, the low clouds, the rain, mild temperatures across Alabama and the south this morning. See a big area of thunderstorms there moving through southern Mississippi. They'll head more to the east and southeast toward coastal Alabama. Across the southern half of Alabama, fog has been a problem as it has been over the past several days. Dense fog there in southwest Alabama. Visibility's showing up less than 1 mile in yellow, less than 1/2 mile in orange, and down to a quarter mile or less in red. You see that along the coast there. The ASOS station showing up either as purple, red, or blue. Blue, of course, meaning for the pilots, marginal visual flight rules. The red meaning IFR, instrument flight rules, and then limited instrument flight rules at the locations in purple. You can see those dew point depressions, the temperature in red, the dew point in green. Those depressions are very small, and that means we've got very high level of humidity, the air mass almost saturated in the lower levels, and that is causing all of the fog and low clouds that we're experiencing across Alabama. Across north central Alabama, the US 278 corridor, we have showers, maybe an occasional rumble of thunder there. Between Hamilton and Jasper up to Coleman. Some showers there north of Gadsden along I-59 in the Fort Payne area. And we'll continue to see rounds of showers through the day today. Not a bad day, though. We're going to see high temperatures in the middle 60s with those rounds of showers around. Don't be surprised if you hear a rumble of thunder as well. Winds are out of the north. We're actually on the at least in the I-20 corridor, we're actually on the northern side of a boundary that sort of slipped to the south. You can see the pattern across North America is quite chaotic, or at least the pattern across the southern United States. Looks like a string of my Christmas lights before I get them all hung up over the house because they're just a big mess right now. So somebody's got to sort all these fronts out. But you can kind of see we've got some cold air damming, bringing some colder air down the eastern side of the Appalachians. Temperatures in the 50s on the eastern side of Alabama, giving us an effective warm front here. Low there near moving out of Columbus, Mississippi into Alabama. And you can see those lows strung up like Christmas lights there all the way back into Texas. So quite the frontal boundary going on there. The temperatures tell the story. Today will be in the middle 60s. Tomorrow in the middle 60s again. Tuesday they fall just a bit, says the National Blend of Models. I'm not quite sure by getting back into the 50s, at least for the central part of the state. Northern part might stay in the 50s, but I think with the warm air advection that we'll see, it should be a little warmer than that. The warm air advection is definitely in here on Tuesday. We're in the 60s, but then we fall off as the front moves through on Thursday, and then we turn really chilly for the next 4 days, really for the next week. High temperatures only in the upper 40s and low 50s. Overnight lows will trend back down toward the lower 30s. This is the scene in Truckee, California this morning. Big California storm that's going to be our next big weather maker is dumping lots and lots of snow on California, the Sierra, and I'm certain that they'll take it, expecting some 2 to 3 feet of snow there. Will be an interesting day as the Amtrak California Zephyr is meant will be scheduled to come through here about 11:30. And then the other train will leave Emeryville this morning at about 9 o'clock California time. And it would be so fun to be on that California Zephyr as it makes its way through the Sierras there in Northern California. Current hazards from the Weather Service. From our friends at Pivotal Weather, show the fog advisories there across much of the south. Got a flash flood warning down there in Louisiana. You see it showing up in red near Opelousas. They've had heavy rain this morning. We saw those showers and storms over southern Mississippi. Winter weather advisories in New England and also in southern Pennsylvania and West Virginia. More fog out in the plain states from Iowa back through northern Texas. Winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings showing up in those various shades of purple and pink. Got some wind advisories showing up in brown, and a large area of winter storm watch there for the Dakotas, western Nebraska, into Minnesota, as well as eastern Montana and Wyoming. And that's going to set up on the backside of that low. There could be blizzard conditions by Tuesday in portions of Nebraska, the Dakotas, possibly into Wyoming and Montana. We'll be watching that very, very closely. All right, model fans, let's go out to tomorrow. This is the GFS showing just a few showers over South Alabama, ridging to build over Alabama, and I think we probably are in the middle 60s. Not a bad day all in all. Good bit of clouds, maybe a little bit of sunshine, especially late in the afternoon. Light winds and just no rainfall. By Tuesday, the storm system is really getting its act together. The center of the low pressure system is over central Nebraska. Heavy snow beginning to fall on the western side of the cyclone. A little bit of freezing rain, wintry precipitation mixed in on the north side of it, but a large area of heavy rain. The moisture transport on this next system is extremely impressive. Probably not technically known as an atmospheric river, but it's going to be kind of like one. It's more like an atmospheric lake that's just going to be pulled out of the Gulf of Mexico. Water temperatures over the Gulf are still way warmer than normal for what they should be this time of year. And when that happens, you can generate some tremendous amounts of moisture out of the Gulf. And that's what's going to happen here. We'll see heavy rain and storms break out during the day from eastern Texas, eastern Oklahoma, up through Arkansas, Missouri, and into Iowa on the warm side of the cyclone. Showers and storms could become severe as we head into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday night. The SPC has already taken the rather provocative step of going ahead and upgrading to an enhanced region over northern Louisiana to the bordering states of Texas, Arkansas, and Mississippi. And that seems very justified with some pretty decent cape and very strong wind shear over that region. We could see another localized tornado outbreak like we've seen a couple of different times this year. Now, for us in Alabama, that activity comes into here late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, and the conditions will just not be the same. We've had this cold air damming to the east. The atmosphere will not recover quite as much, and our chances for severe weather will be limited to southern Alabama and southern Mississippi, the Florida Panhandle back into southeastern Louisiana. So this is areas from, you know, Sumter and Marengo counties down to the southwest, places like Evergreen, Greenville, Florala, Chatham in Butler County, these in Demopolis and Marengo County, of course, Mobile, Gulf Shores will be under the gun on Wednesday. There will be some cape to the north of this. I think we'll see showers and thunderstorms. We'll see showers over the entire area. It's going to be soaking rain, probably 2 inches of rain for most folks. But I think it's going to generally be areas from Utah to Clanton down to Florala that have some chance of strong storms bordering on severe, but severe weather limited to southern portions. We mentioned that potential rainfall. Most folks are getting 2 inches. Some folks are getting 2 to 3 inches. And of course, that could cause potential flooding. The Weather Prediction Center issuing an excessive rainfall outlook. This is a slight risk, just like you'd see on an SPC graphic for day 4, showing at least a 15% chance of flash flooding within 25 miles of any point in this yellow shaded area, where it's just like a slight risk does on the day 1 through 8 outlooks. Moving on in time, this is Thursday. The rain is out of here. I think most of the showers in prior to sunrise. Skies will become mostly sunny. It'll be cooler, have a gusty northwest wind, and the high temperature somewhere between 50 degrees up north and right at 60 degrees in south central Alabama. Chilly night, Thursday night, Friday morning, we wake up, temperatures probably below freezing over the northern half of the state. Should be at least a mostly sunny to partly sunny at times day, cold with a chilly northwest wind continuing. And so it's going to be quite the change that you will feel then. Saturday, ridging still in place. I think we stay dry for one more day, partly sunny to partly cloudy and cold. The afternoon high around 45 after an overnight low around 29. Now, moving it a little further out into the forecast period, this is for next Sunday, 7 days from now, shows a cold rain over much of Alabama and the south. A little bit of wintry precipitation, maybe mixing with some sleet or snow there over the Chattanooga area, southeast Tennessee, maybe Mentone up in northeast Alabama, over into the extreme northern parts of Georgia. Even hints that there might be a little patch here and there over North Alabama. Now, will that play out? We'll see. We'll continue to watch that closely, but it could be our first little tussle with some winter weather. We'll see how that goes. Going further out in the period, because we can now see Christmas. This is Christmas Eve, and it looks like a fairly strong subtropical ridge to the east. That means a very good transport of moisture and warmth up into the southeast. So we won't be talking about highs in the 40s and 50s anymore. We'll be talking about highs in the 70s and dew points in the 60s. And you know where I'm going here with this. That means another one of those severe weather outbreaks in the south. These are temperatures on Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock. If this GFS run pans out, we've got temperatures approaching 70 over southern Louisiana, southern Alabama, southern Mississippi, and the Cape values are pretty high. Those Capes over Louisiana in that 1,500 joules per kilogram range, we know that is plenty sufficient, especially with the shear we have in the winter, for another significant severe storm outbreak. Now, again, once again, it looks like it stays west of us, and we'll hope so. We'll keep it right there. We do not want Christmas Day severe weather. We have seen that before. Well, that's your weather video for this Sunday, December the 11th. I think I've been going on for about 20 minutes, maybe challenging for a record. The Weather Brains crew tomorrow night. We'll be talking to Joseph Trujillo, a researcher who's been working with vulnerable populations in tornado outbreak areas, especially the Kentucky tornado outbreak that occurred last December and killed way, way, way too many people. But Weather Brains is the weekly netcast. It's all about weather. We do it on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. Join us live over on the YouTube channel. You can catch us on the Dot 2 channel over the air in Birmingham and in local areas. Some of the cable systems even take us there. Weather Brains is a labor of love we've been doing for 16 years. Outstanding crew, lots of learning every Monday night about the weather. So come join us. So until I see you next Sunday and get to do this video again for you, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky because you'll always have something fun to look at.